Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today we will accept them, knowing they belong to us. And we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. They are not like to the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. Such are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain, because another loses. This implies a limit and an insufficiency. No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for a more valuable return. A loan with interest to be paid in full. A temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. A major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. Today accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let Him complete Himself as He defines completion. You will understand that what completes Him must complete His Son as well. He cannot give through loss. No more can you. Receive His gift of joy and peace today, and He will thank you for your gift to Him. Today, our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here you denied them to yourself, and here you must return to claim them as your own. Think of your enemies a little while, and tell each one, as he occurs to you, "My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine." Thus you prepare yourself to recognize God's gifts to you, and let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now are you ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you? Now are you ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself? Now you can say, "God's peace and joy are mine, for you have given what you would receive." You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, "God's peace and joy are mine." And close your eyes a while, and let His voice assure you that the words you speak are true. Spend your 5 minutes thus with Him each time you can today, but do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give Him more. At least remember hourly to say the words which call to Him to give you what He wills to give, and wills you to receive. Determine not to interfere today with what He wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, "My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine." A Course in Miracles, Lesson 105, Deep Exploration. God's peace and joy are mine. Today we accept what has always been ours, not as a hope, not as a wish, not as a distant promise, but as the only thing that was never taken. God's peace, God's joy, ours, and here is the miracle. These gifts don't deplete when given. They multiply. This is not the world's math. This is not addition through subtraction. This is abundance revealed by release. The gifts of the world are traded like poker chips. If I give you love, I lose mine. If I give you time, I have less. If I give you money, I'm lighter by the bills. That's the world's bargain. One wins, one loses. But a gift that costs the giver and enriches the taker is not a gift at all. It's a debt disguised in wrapping paper, a guilt trap, a price tag hidden under the bow. And we know it. We feel it when someone says, "I gave you everything," but they really meant, "Now you owe me." True giving carries no loss, because there's no real division between the giver and the receiver. Only one of us is here, only one mind. When I give you peace, I give peace to myself. When I withhold joy from you, I withhold joy from me. The ego doesn't like that math. It panics, it whispers, don't give too much, you'll run out. But love doesn't run out. God doesn't give with limits. Truth doesn't shrink when shared. What the world calls giving is a loan with strings, a bid for return, credit cards, home loans, favor for favor. Even I love you comes with an invoice. That's not giving. That's bargaining with guilt. A strange distortion of what giving means. And it infects everything: business, marriage, friendship, religion. It strips the diamond from the ring and hands you the empty band. Looks like a gift, feels like a trap. And when you take that kind of gift, you're left with nothing, just a hole where meaning should have been. So the course sets a major learning goal: to reverse your view of giving so you can finally receive. Right now, giving makes us afraid. If I give, I might lose. If I share my light, will I be left in the dark? If I pour into you, who will fill me? That fear makes us hoard what could have saved us. And here's the twist. Giving is the only way we can receive. But the ego poisoned the well. It turned giving into risk, and in doing so, it closed the door to heaven. Accept God's peace and joy, and everything changes. You begin to see, these are not human gifts. They are divine qualities, limitless, self-replenishing, non-transactional. When you give peace, you don't lose it, you become it. When you give joy, it erupts like sunlight from within. So today, we practice this new math. Peace grows when shared. Joy multiplies when given. Love increases as it flows. You can't run out of what you are. To give is to remember. To share is to be healed. To release is to return. God's peace and joy are mine, because they are everyone's. God's peace and joy are mine. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gifts to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. How could this be? How could God, who lacks nothing, grow in joy? Because true giving is creation, not loss, not division, not sacrifice. Creation is expansion, without taking from anything. True giving extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, love unto itself. This isn't metaphor. It's a statement about the nature of reality. Love doesn't give to complete what's missing. It gives because it cannot not give. It's bursting. It's overflowing. It's spilling past the illusion of form into the truth of oneness. It adds not by accumulation, but by allowing what cannot be contained to fulfill its only aim, to give everything it has away. Why? Because that is the only way it secures what it is, not by locking it up, not by guarding it, but by releasing it, forever safe in the act of giving. Let that land. Love secures itself by giving itself away. So today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Don't define the terms of the exchange. Let Him complete Himself, as He defines completion, because what completes God must also complete His Son. He cannot give through loss, no more than can you. Any gift that costs someone something is not of Him. Receive His gift of joy and peace today, and He will thank you. Yes, God will thank you, not because He needs, but because your acceptance gives Him a place to be. So who is the He? It is God as love. It is your right mind. It is the Holy Spirit. It is the you that never left. It is oneness itself, rejoicing in your return. Today our practice begins differently. We begin by thinking of our brothers, the ones we have denied the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Not special laws, not karmic laws, not they did me wrong laws, but equal laws. To deny peace to another is to deny peace to yourself. To condemn another's joy is to cut off your own inheritance. So go there. Think of the ones you've left out, the ones you judged, the ones you silently resented, the ones you said they don't deserve peace. Because here, right there in that shadow, you have denied peace to yourself, and here you must return to claim it as your own. Forgiveness is not pity, it is remembrance. And peace is not given by the ego's terms, it's reclaimed through the law of equality. God's peace and joy are yours, they always were. but you cannot have what you withhold, not because he withholds, but because you do. So today, return to your inheritance by giving it to your brother. That's how the gates open. That's how the light floods in. That's how peace is restored. God's peace and joy are mine. Think of your enemies just for a little while. Let them pass through your mind one by one, not to rehearse the pain, not to relive the judgment, but to remember the truth. And as each face appears, say to him in your heart, "My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as my own." Let it be sincere. Let it be real. Let it be the only thing that matters in this moment. And as you offer this gift, you prepare yourself to recognize what has always been yours. God's gifts, peace, joy, unshaken, undiminished, unchanged. Now your mind begins to loosen its grip on the blocks. Now you begin to allow success, because you are no longer standing in the way. Now you are ready to receive what you had denied. God's peace and joy are yours, not because you earned them, but because you shared them. For you have given what you would receive, and that is the only way receiving ever works. You must succeed today, if you prepare your mind as suggested, because if you've truly lifted every barrier, what is yours can finally come to you. So tell yourself again, God's peace and joy are mine. Close your eyes for a while and listen. Let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true. You're not chanting affirmations. You're speaking what is, and his voice will echo it back to you, inside, quietly, but unmistakably. Spend 5 minutes with him this way, and each time you can today, return. But don't judge the moments when you forget. Don't discount the time that seems too short. Do not think that less is worthless. A single holy instant is enough to open the floodgates of heaven. And when you cannot give more, give what you can. And remember hourly, even for a breath, to say the words that call him, God's peace and joy are mine. Let that become your rhythm. Let that become your breath. Let that be the compass. And if a brother tempts you to criticize, to attack, to withhold, to separate, see it for what it is, not a threat, not a mistake, but another chance, a divine appointment, a chance to receive what God has willed for you by offering it again. Then say from your heart, "My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as my own." Because to give is to receive, to bless is to remember, to forgive is to return, and to offer peace is to claim the peace that never left you. God's peace and joy are yours, now, forever, always.